the aspect of the message that you preach with your mouth. Okay. Okay. I'll look for a small opportunity after this night to talk about the holistic gospel. But let's talk about the simple gospel. The one that saves people. It's called the gospel of what? Salvation. It's so sad that even the church, modern church, don't know the message that saves anymore. We preach everything except that message Jesus asks us to take to the world. Hey, Romans chapter 1 verse 16, you know that powerful scripture. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God. Okay, I'll read this one. You go back to the other translation. It is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that what? Believe. T.L. Osborne said, I don't pray down the power. I preach out the power. The power is in the message. If a church is powerless, check what you're preaching. The power is in the message. The power is in the message. There is an atomic power trapped in that message if you know how to. If you know what it is and how to release it, how to wield that power. Okay, give me that other translation. I am not ashamed of this good news about Christ. It is God's powerful method of bringing all who believe to heaven or to salvation. This message was preached first to the Jews alone and now to everyone. Everyone is invited to come to God in the same way. God's means of saving the world. Okay, God gave us an assignment to save the nations, to save the world. He didn't give us an army. He didn't give us a bank account. I didn't hear, behold, I give unto you billions. How much did Jesus leave for his disciples? A tax, a global mission. The destiny of the nations, all the nations of the earth in our hands. And what is the means? He didn't leave us an air force equipped with the most deadly ballistic missiles like Iran and all that. He didn't leave us a nuclear weapon. He didn't leave us. He left us with a power that has the ability to win the world. If we are losing Anambra, we have to check what we're preaching. And it's the same message. It works for every generation when it's welded with his power. I've taken it to whites, I've taken it to blacks, I've taken it to Indians, I've taken it to all kinds. I have tested it across continents. It produces the same transformational effect. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 18. Now, what is this thing he's calling the gospel, the good news? What is it? Now, he gives us further insight into it. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 18. No, I need the proper, King James. For the preaching of the cross. For the preaching of what? Is to them that perish foolishness. But to us that are saved, it is what? The power of God. You see, second time he's telling you where the power is. I want to repeat. Tell us to say, I don't pray down the power. You're looking for the power of God. I preach it out. Actually, he said, you explode it like bombs. It's in the message. It's in the message. There's a power God gave to us as preachers. There's a power God gave to us as believers. Is the power to shape people's future, to shape people's destiny, to shape outcomes in people's life by what we sow and seed into them. If the result is not what you want, look at the seed. The power of the gospel is also the power of seed. and seeds are energy. When you are speaking, you are not just communicating. You are releasing energy. Energy that has the ability to create what you are saying. The gospel is not just giving people information. It's different from classroom work. The gospel is creative. The gospel is regenerative. The gospel is reproductive. The gospel is catalytic. The gospel is explosive. And the power of the seed is ultimate power because contained in it is the end result. So if the result is a lot of corn, the seed must be corn. If the result is going to be cows, then the seed must be cow. I get a male and female. If the result are to be birds, like chicken, the seed has to be chicken. If what I'm getting is I don't like it, I have to go to what I'm sowing. So you can seed people for greatness. You can seed, I'm talking about seed, the gospel. You can seed people for prosperity. You can seed people for holiness. You can seed people for love. You want a church that works in love, that will cooperate. You can seed people for unity. You can seed people for revival. You can seed people for prayer. If your people are not praying, you are not seeding them for it. Don't expect a harvest where you have not planted the right seed. It's like those days when men used to blame women. When you have girls again, and then you want a boy, you blame your wife. That had I said, no. The woman has the soil, what they call the incubator, the womb. The man has the seed. It's what you put in there that she gave you. What the soil does is to incubate what is planted, mature it, and deliver the harvest to you. That's what the incubator does. The incubator does not change the sex of the egg. When you put an egg into the incubator, if it's a male, if it's a hen, if it's a cock, the incubator will just incubate what is inside and give it to you in a harvest form. So the hearts of people are incubators. The hearts of people are soil. Jesus taught the parable of the sower and talked about 4 types of soil. The hearts are soil. But the man that sows the seed is the preacher. The farmer is the preacher. Don't come to the same land where you planted corn and you are trying to harvest yam. If you see your neighbor harvesting yam, he sold his church for it. If you see your neighbor harvesting excellence, he sold that church for excellence. If you see your neighbor harvesting prosperity, financial, he seeded his people for it. Don't go to the pulpit and start harassing people. Teach them. Use teaching and training to solve all ministry problems. Don't harass your leaders for results you have not seeded them for. Train them for it. Nobody wants to be a failure. It's after that you can now talk about the exception to the rule. Yeah. Even in a poultry with 1,000 chicks, and you're trying to grow them, I know that it's possible that you can have 1 or 2 that died. There's another course in pastoral ministry on how to control the pest in order to maximize the harvest. Because the same way happens in the farm, happens with animals, happens with chicken, happens with crops. That's how it happens in ministry. And there are pesticides. You have to learn the right ones to apply when certain diseases show up. If you see gossip and slander, buy my book. It's called The Law of Proper Speech. train your people on it. Train them on how to talk. Train them on information management. And you can preserve your ministry. There are pesticides that cure divisions and politics in the church. Don't say, my church, it will never happen. You don't know anything about human beings. Okay. So, now, here is the point here that Paul is trying to make. In medicine, in pharmacology, when in designing of drugs to treat people, you have what is called the active ingredient. And then sometimes there are other things you add to the drug, it doesn't cure. It's just to help the patient swallow the drug. So it might be sweeteners, like you can use honey. You have made the drug itself, but it might be bitter. So you use honey to coat it. Where is this cough syrup that we used to drink when we were small? Oh, Babylin. So even when some of my, like my parents, they will go out, we'll go and collect it and be drinking because it's very sweet. We'll drink overdose. You see that thing that is sweet? It's not part of the treatment. It doesn't treat cough. It's just part of the packaging to help children drink it. Now, there is also another element you can add to drug. You can add preservatives. Because you may have made it of certain properties or, I don't want to use chemical. Chemical could be part of it, but compounds that could, decay or putrefy or spoil. So you want the drug to last for 5 years. So you put certain things to preserve it. So when a person takes the drug, he takes all of this. But these other ones have nothing to do with the sickness. There is a particular compound inside the drug that is the one that goes after the disease and cures it. When it comes to the gospel, the cross is the active ingredient. Jump up and down. Talk about whatever you like. When you finish, you don't understand how to deploy the cross. You don't have the power of the gospel. I'm talking about the saving gospel. I'm talking about salvation. So that when people receive it, they are transformed, they are changed, and they are truly saved. So now, there is such purification, there is such, abundance of ignorance in the administration of this medicine that actually saves and cures people. The fake drugs are everywhere, and Anambra seems to be the headquarters. Am I correct or am I missing? There's one state I went to. They said, these false prophets, these boys, I don't know what you call them. They said they know when government pays salary. And they had a governor at that time, I think either 28th of the month he pays. So around 26, 27, they all land. Many of them, a number of them. They put up all these useless programs. You see titles that have nothing to do with. I can't remember some of those titles. There are some. Who stole my wedding? Yes, give me another one. Then they will land. Then they will collect all the salaries paid to civil servants paid for. When they finish, by second week of the new, they are vanished. They wait till Saturday time again. The multitudes are being preyed upon because the ones sent don't even know how to wield the message anymore. Everybody say the preaching of the cross. Or let's say it in a different. Say the message of the cross. Might be foolishness to those that perish, but to every man that is saved, it is the power. So the power is in the cross. The power is in the cross. Because this is a Holy Spirit conference. Somewhere we will talk about the Holy Spirit. You will hear about that other dimension. The power is the cross. The power is the cross. The power is the cross. Say it with me, the power is the cross. Okay, now I'm going to help you now understand how to administer. There are 4 keys that can help you be extremely effective, 4 pillars of the saving gospel. Okay, there is a popular principle for explaining the gospel that was very popular in the 70s, in the 80s, maybe a little part of the 90s. The Billy Graham organization helped to popularize it around the world. It's called the 4 laws. I don't have time. My time has gone, so I won't go into it now. But Google it. A lot of pamphlets were created, a lot of handbills in those days. 4 spiritual laws, yes. Please study it. It will help you in explaining the gospel. Now, I have a new understanding of those same 4 laws. So it's the same 4 laws I'm going to give you, but in a different way. And one thing I'm going to say to you, there are 1,000,001 ways to explain the sentence. Number 1, God's creation. So I'm going to say it in 3 different ways and see which one gets in. Number 2, Satan's deception. Number 3, Christ's substitution. And number 4, our redemption. Everything was done for us. So you notice what I said. The first is how God created everything, and he made everything beautiful and wonderful. Nothing broken, nothing missing. Number 2, we showed how Satan came in and spoiled what God created. Number 3, you show how Jesus solved the problem on the cross. And number 4, you show how any man that received what Christ has done, his life is transformed. Very simple. Very simple. So there are 4 things here. Number 1, where we came from. Who made us and how he made us. If that question is answered well, it destroys evolution. It destroys all these useless theories that are out there. What the world wants to know is, where did we come from? I'm coming. Second one, who caused the problem? Look at problems everywhere. Murder, rape, evil in the world. The world is blaming God for the problems that we have in our world and in our society. And anytime they blame God, the next thing they do, they look for the institution that represents him and pass the blame. So once they blame God, they blame the church. The world is blaming God for the problems in the universe. So you have to help people know who caused the problem. Number 3, then help them know who solved the problem. He did not cause it, but he solved it by paying, and how he did it. Finally, show people how to receive the solution that has been provided, and then how we are to live and how we are to be once we have received that solution. I'm going to repeat that. How we are to be and how we are to live after we have received that solution. That's the gospel. If you can give this to anybody and help them understand it, they will be saved and saved to their bone marrow. Where did we come from? So when they talk about the theory of evolution, how we evolve from lower microbes all the way, it's very simple. I tell them, we are the ones that live in Africa. We live with the chimpanzees. We live with the monkeys. We live with the, what's the higher, orangutan. We live with them. I say, after 6,000 years, the monkey family have not learned how to make toothpick. And the reason is simple. Man is not an animal. In the body, there might be some similarities. But there is something that made us different. God made us, not just that he made us in his own what? He made us in his own image and likeness. Every time I go to the jungles in East Africa, when we finish whatever, I like to see the animal kingdom. You see a mama chimpanzee, see a monkey moving. The baby is following him behind, looking at the bum. Ordinary pants, after 6,000 years, they have not invented. Just toothbrush. Can you imagine not brushing your mouth for 3 days? The kind of things that will be coming out from it. I brush my mouth twice a day, minimum. And then you leave it for 24 hours, for 3 days. And you have animals jumping around in the bush. They have not brushed for the last 40 years. You can now understand what happens when they bite people. Just toothpick, they have not invented. So let's not talk about toothbrush or toothpaste. So if you believe that you are an animal, I'm sorry for you. I'm not. I'm created in God's class. And Pastor Nee just said it, that the first quality of God revealed in the Bible is creativity. God is a creator. That's why I'm highly creative. Because I'm made in his image. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? Okay, so here is the point. Any society that receives the divine nature, the message of the divine nature, and is helped to accept it, changes. It becomes a creative society. It becomes an empowered society. Just that distortion of the first pillar of the gospel, it can enable you to keep a whole generation in slavery. A man that had discovered himself in God, discovered the image of God in him, you cannot hold him down.